Welcome to Going Back, a collection of bloopers and outtakes from the Nothing Much Happens podcast. I'm your audio engineer, Bob Wittersheim. Now, Kathryn Nicolai may indeed
create everything you hear on Nothing Much Happens.
But she also creates plenty that you do not hear, and that's where I come in. I make sure that everything you hear is only what we want you to hear, only the things that will help you fall asleep. And so, barking dogs, rumbling stomachs, outside interruptions, and just regular old goofs are all removed by me to ensure you have a relaxing experience. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to go behind the curtain and enjoy some of the more entertaining edits. And so, we proudly present Going Back.
It was like watching a sun rising. I'm honestly putting myself to sleep right now reading this. This is like I can't stay focused. I've stopped and paused and stared at the wall several times. I've twice. These were the touchstones that I oriented myself by. These were the touchstones that I oriented... Both times, can't figure out how to say this word. These were the touchstones that I oriented? I keep wanting to say orientated, but I think it's just oriented. These were the touchstones that I oriented myself by. To methodically place your feet, and a way to practice journeying with calm attention. I think I want to take that methodically word out. B-dub, will you just strike that? Or I could just say it again for you. Let's see, it'll take me 10 seconds. But a labyrinth is just giving you somewhere to place your feet that pushed us to jog around to the sideline. Sidelined? Going back. And felt that energy we'd tapped into in the summer that pushed us to jog around to the sideline, that straightened into parallel, upright, thin bark trunks just after... This is a mouthful. I'll say that again. He'd painted a portrait of the two of them when the shelf held seashells. It was meant to be a place. Nope, it's meant to be a shelf. It was meant to be a shelf for a telephone. And all of them had a small niche. I thought about it. I was not going to say niche. I was going to say niche. And then I thought I was going to say niche. But I say niche. So then I split the difference and said what no one says. So I'm going back. A small niche. I say niche. That's how I'm going to say it. Built in a neat row. And all of them had a small niche. I'd made smashed rather than mashed potatoes by parboiling. Going back. I'd made smashed rather than mashed potatoes by parboiling. That's a really hard word to say. Parboiling. By parboiling a lot of smallish Yukon Golds. I've got a dozen cookbooks with bookmarked pages that I've been waiting to find a reason to make. Hold on, I'm going to say that again. Had to fix that sentence. It sounded like I was going to make a dozen cookbooks. I pulled my garden gloves back on and propped my hands on my hips. I've got a dozen recipes that I've been waiting to find a reason to make. I'll let you know what I come up with. If you wake in the middle of the night, you could remember... I'm sorry, I'm making myself laugh because I just thought I should get a tattoo that says, I'll tell the story twice. Getting it together. If you enjoy these stories, I think you'll find even more pleasure from my book, also called Nothing Much Happens. I don't know, Bob, just saying the word pleasure just squicked me out there, so I'm going to say that again. I don't want to say enjoy and then enjoyment, so I went for pleasure, and nope, didn't work for me. She'd written her initials onto the labels as a young person to keep her siblings from swiping her favorites. And down the few streets of our little village. Oh shit, I'm supposed to say city. And I pushed open the door from the kitchen out to the backyard and stuck them out to the backyard and stuck them neck deep into the nearest snowdrift. For this, I made muhamara. Going back because I was pronouncing that wrong, I checked. For this, I made muhamara,